Welcome back. You are watching the Sunday talk show here on the Arise News channel. And now this is the business segment where we look at key developments within the economy and in the various markets. And well, Prisca Undu, who is a leading African business expert, whose day job is as a senior executive at the Access Management Commission of Nigeria. She joins me in discussing how the economy has fared in the last week. Also joining this segment for the first time is Teriba, the CEO of Economic Associates. He's an economist, so we have a business expert, an analyst, and also an economist. Now, Prisca, what have been the major developments in the past week within the economy?
Oh, well, as we had said last week during the session, we mentioned that the inflation figures was coming out on the 15th of September. We had projected it at about 15.9%. Unfortunately, it came out at about 16.01%, which is about 0.04 drop from the previous quarter. As we can see, for the last 7 consecutive quarters, it's been dropping since January. We expect this to impact food prices, but food inflation, unfortunately, has not gone down as much. We also saw the external reserves has inched up again to 33 billion, highest in 31 months. Although these figures are yet to be published, the NBS has also explained that Nigeria was able to exit recession quickly as a result of its ability to adopt international standards as outlined. CBN's role also was impactful in helping Nigeria get out of the recession through several interventions, like the one in agriculture and industrial sectors, like the Anchor Borrowers Program, the 40 billion Anchor Borrowers Program, empowering about 600,000 farmers. We also saw its active intervention in the FX market as well to improve availability of foreign exchange, both in the importing and exporting sectors, in the SMEs. Also, we saw that the expansion moved from 97.34 quarter on quarter and about 7.98 year on year to about 1.79 billion from about $908.27 million and $1.2 billion respectively from the previous
Mr. Teriba, let me ask you a direct question. What does all this translate into? Are we dealing with prospects of growth or regrowth, or it's just all about figures?
Well, it's more than figures. This time last year, the same figures were reading very, very negative. Month in, month out. You read news of further decline in the economy. Now you are reading news about the economy is growing, even if that growth is small. You read news about further deterioration of inflation figures, more like 10 months in a row. Now you're reading news about improvement in inflation figures 7 months in a row. You read news about dwindling reserves. Now you're reading news about reserves improving. The foreign exchange in the private market strengthening. So it's good news. Much of the troubles that befell the country last year are being reversed. And that's very good news for the country. Key question is, how sustainable are those, good news? What more can we do to sustain the good news?
Yeah, which leads me to the next question. Yeah. What should we look forward to within the economy? What should we look forward to as this quarter ends and we go into another quarter?
Right. The government has been busy trying to fashion responses. I know that a lot of consultation has been going on, and we are likely to see a higher tempo of policy actions, towards the end of the year, and in particular in the year 2018.
Prisca, do you agree?
Yes, I agree. But apart from that, there are also 6 major things to look out for. By next week, the Nigerian economy team is going on a roadshow to raise about $3 billion to refinance local debt and also to finance a lot of infrastructure projects. The unemployment data is also coming up towards the end of the month. Hopefully, we should be able to get indications on how to improve unemployment, both unemployment and underemployment, because Currently, it's about 32%, 14% for unemployment, and another 18% for underemployment. We need to move it up to at least, if the growth rate is about 6%, that will help to also absorb unemployment rate. Yes, we've celebrated GDP growth at 0.55. South Africa was doing about 2.55. If you look at our growth, ours is about a U curve, but the South Africa growth is V. So it's taking us longer to move away from the bottom. So more emphasis has to be focused on the bottom to look at how to improve the rate of growth so that we can absorb the unemployment rate. Then thirdly, the MPC meeting is coming up between the 25th and 26th of September. Hopefully we're looking at some other decisions that will be able to stimulate growth because all the indicators, like he mentioned, are looking very good. October 1st, national broadcast is also coming up, and we're waiting to see what direction the president will take the country. October 4th, also the World Bank meeting in Washington is coming up as well to discuss policies and direction also for countries. Then lastly, we have October 10th, the budget submission. So these are critical dates to look out for Nigeria because it will determine the stimulants for growth for the third and the fourth quarter.
Well, the OPEC meeting is also coming up shortly. What should we be looking forward to? What are the implications for Nigeria?
Right. I mean, the key achievement of OPEC has been to rally non-OPEC producers to come to agreement to reduce output. They did it from November to May, and they've extended it till March. I guess the key issue is to ensure that members comply, with that production reduction agreement, but to, underscore the key events that Prisca has highlighted for us to look out for. It comes down to what government does. The outlook rests critically on what government. We have to take it from resting on hopes about oil price, hopes about oil production, to more concrete hopes about government action and the likely impact, the likely further positive impacts of those. And the roadshow that she's mentioned, 3 billion in investment, very key. So Nigeria should be doing all it could to get investments. Because that liquidity, keep your eyes on the reserves, now 33.
Yes.
The more it inches up, the more the recovery, the stability is sustainable. If we get to 42, yeah, we might maybe get closer to $1.
The pound sterling seems to have appreciated slightly against the dollar. And we have a lot of Nigerians living in the United Kingdom. What is the implication of this for the average Nigerian?
Yeah, I think what has implication for the average Nigerian is what happens between the naira and the dollar. Not what happens between the naira, the pound and the dollar, because it's gaining against the dollar, not gaining against the euro, so it's implications for Brits, not for Nigerians, absolutely.
Well, in addition to that, we also see that the population of Nigerians in the UK is about 1/3 of Nigerians in diaspora. And then given that the diaspora remittances is about $26 billion, so relatively we are looking at about $9 billion from the UK alone. So the stronger the pound is, the larger the amount we are also expecting. So it's a good outlook for us as well. And then given that the UK inflation too has reached its highest in recent times, absolutely, in recent times. So that's also something to worry about.
But what's going on in the rest of Africa? What's the outlook for Africa?
Well, looking at Ghana, two remarkable things happened in Ghana. The banking license has been increased. From minimal capitalization has been moved from $27 million to $91 million, which is even higher than what capitalization for Nigerian banks are. So what does that say? It means that consolidation has to happen forcefully. We have in total about 34 banks in Ghana. Out of them, 12 are international, 5 are Nigerian banks, and then the other 17 are local. So what the implication of that is that the banks in Ghana have to begin to look at how to consolidate to be able to survive this regulation. Then, like we mentioned also, in the UK, I mean, the inflation rate is moving upwards. I don't know if you have other contributions to make. There's been a lot of activities within the week from South Africa to Ghana, to Kenya. A lot is happening in the African market.
Yes, Mr. Teriba, is there anything you want to add to that about what's
South
going on
current,
across
the
Africa?
The current account deficit in South Africa is widening, so...
No further.
But will you say that, the average Nigerian should remain optimistic about the economy, about some of the things you said earlier on?
Yeah, well...
Given the fact that we still have problems in the power sector, we still have other kinds of challenges, both institutional and systemic and all of that.
Well, I would say that the average Nigerian from government to sustain the gains that we have made. Gains have happened, more resulting, more, share good fortune. Oil price is back up from $28 first quarter last year to $50. Oil production is up. We need more than oil price up, oil production up. We need more concrete. Success on investment, success on actually, government, making a bigger difference. There is a lot to gain from what government could do.
Well, usually when we talk about government, this is also a matter of concern for me. We are always focusing on the federal government. We usually don't talk about what goes on, at the other levels, the states particularly.
Yeah. Well,
and the state governments just seem not to care, really.
Well, don't say they don't care.
About some
states do well. Really. Some states do very well. But the point,
for instance, as we can see,
well,
all that is happening.
Lagos State, even River State,
absolutely, River State. Yes, there are states. Maybe a lot more focus has to be paid to those states.
Yeah.
But a lot of states are
making progress.
Yeah, they're making
but the
progress.
point is that the benefit of states' action are localized. The impact of federal action is everyone. Global. So we are talking reserves, we are talking exchange rate, we are talking inflation, we are talking recession. States can do very little, but any of those is federal government. And there are things Nigeria can do, that could lift us.
Well, on that note, we'll have to round off. You've been watching This Day Live, the Sunday talk show here on Arise News. I'm Rueben Abati in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. From all of us here at Arise News, it's bye for now, and thank you very much for watching.